I'm your host Ray Masank. I would like to start the introduction by saying to you the danger of talking about such issues here on this channel. For I am going against the beast. Ask the Christians, how can there be a new covenant when according to Genesis 17:7, the covenant established between God and Abraham was an everlasting covenant? Answer: they will try to use John 1:17, where it says, and I quote, "For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ," to say that the law is gone and with coming of Jesus came the period of grace. This is innovation. According to the word of Jesus himself, he did not come to change the law, but to fulfill it. Matthew 5:17. So now we have Jesus not come to change the law, and in John 17:7, an everlasting covenant. Why are we following those who don't know? If the covenant was an everlasting covenant, then how can there be a new covenant or a New Testament? Christian scholars will say that law and with the coming of Jesus was the end of the law and the beginning of faith. Even the prophets and disciples had to abide by the law. So who are you self-righteous Christians to consider yourselves above the law? You are innovating because Jesus never said this? If he did, show us where in the so-called New Testament. Ask the Christians, how many everlasting covenants can there be? They can't answer this question. According to the Bible, there were 7 everlasting covenants mentioned: 1. Genesis 9:16-2, Genesis 17:7-3, Genesis 17:10-13-4, Isaiah 55:3-5, Isaiah 61:8-6, Jeremiah 32:47, Ezekiel 16:60. Then there is a man-made book called the New Covenant or New Testament. Ask yourself, why does the God of the Bible keep re-establishing an everlasting covenant, if it's everlasting? How many everlasting covenants can there be at one time? Ask the Christians about creation. Exactly which one person in the image of God? They won't understand the question. If man was created in the image and after the likeness of the one God, as you find in Genesis 1:26, where it says, and I quote, "Let us make man in our image and after our likeness," and everybody looks different, except for identical twins, etc., then neither the God of the Bible is confused about the way he looks, or the image of God is constantly changing, or there is more than one God. The word used in Aramaic, Hebrew, for image is tselem, meaning resemblance, semblance in the Aramaic, Hebrew. Word used for likeness is demir, meaning someone or something, to resemble, to be compared to. Now if man is created in the image and after the likeness of God, and that means that man is like God in all ways and manners, and since people look different, they range eye features, shares, sizes and many other characteristics, so which one man has the image and like of God? Ask the Christians, if all human beings came from Adam and Eve, who according to Christian doctrine came from the rib of Adam, then shouldn't everyone on the planet Earth have the same blood type? Answer: they won't know how to begin answering this question, because if there was originally one man, then there should only be one type of blood. In a room of 5 people, at least 2 will have the same type of blood, which means that somewhere along the lines, something went wrong. And if you have any blood type other than Adam's, then you are ungodly. Right, because Adam was like God. Genesis 1:27. What is a blood type? Nothing more than a protein marker, meaning it indicates the presence or absence of specific marker protein which can be found in the surface of the red blood cells. According to Christians, Adam was made of the dirt, and in Ashuric, Syriac, Arabic, the name Adam is A, which is life, and Dam, which means blood, life, blood. So when God created man, he created him with a specific blood type O positive, meaning the red blood cells have neither antigen A nor B. So now question: if you are Adam and Eve, should we all have the same blood type? Why is it that we have people with Rh negative blood type, A blood type, B blood type and AB blood type? Ask the Christians, what was God's blood type? They won't know how to answer. 10 questions. Ask the Christians, why did the God of the Bible need one of Adam's ribs to make Eve? Answer: they don't know. According to the Bible, God created the sun, moon, stars, heaven, and earth, but he then need to take from Adam to make a woman. It's a interpretation, a play on the word create and make. To create you bring to existence from nothing, not needing a rib. To make you take from an existing element. For example, you don't say I'm going to create a cake, you say I'm going to make a cake. Taking from the existing ingredients. Ask the Christians, Genesis 1:26, in whose image and after whose likeness was God created? Answer: they will probably call you a blasphemer for asking the question. Let me show you how little you know about your Holy Bible and how you refuse to think when reading it. Genesis 1:26, and Genesis 5:1 and 3, it clearly states that Adam was created in the image and after the likeness of God. Now, if man is created in the image and after the likeness of God, Would that mean that man is like God in all manners? If we read the exact words of God, that is what it says. Then you have after our likeness, and if man is in God likeness, which in Aramaic, Hebrew, word, demoth to be like someone, this means that God is like a man. Thus, everything that man does God does at the exact same moment, meaning, if God created man in his image, then man looks like God, which is why you probably call God a he. When man was created in the Bible, God wouldn't have considered God until there was something less than himself, meaning man and God need each other to exist, like right and wrong, bad and good, up and down, on and off, the list goes on, because in order for something to exist to you, you must acknowledge it. If you don't acknowledge God, then God doesn't exist to you. So when God was creating man, man had to be creating God too. You may not like what's being said here, but truth is truth. You know in your soul that this makes a lot of sense. One of my favorite questions to ask a Christian: if there was no one on the planet Earth except for Adam, Eve, Cain and Abel was killed in Genesis 4:8, then who did Cain have children by? In Genesis 4:17? Answer: according to the Bible, Adam's first twin-borns was Cain and Abel, and Cain killed Abel in Genesis 4:8, and they was the only ones on the planet, so who did Cain made with? Genesis 4:17, when according to Genesis 4:16, Cain had just been sent out of the Garden of Eden and dwelled in the land of Nod. They don't know. And please don't say that it was his sister, because she didn't come until later in the story. Questions ask the Christians: did the God of the Bible ever come down to earth himself? Answer: they will say absolutely not. However, in Genesis 18:21, states that he did. Why would the Almighty God have to come down to earth to see something physically? If you take the word see and bring it back to its original Arabic meaning, you get ra, which means to see, look at, inspect, perceive, to have vision. Why does God have to come down before he knows something? Refer to Genesis 2:19, when he was looking for Adam. Isn't he the Almighty, the All-Knowing? Shouldn't he already know? And what place on earth could God, who you Christians say created the whole and has it in his hand, be coming from? If you say heaven, then where was he before he created the heaven? It is a proven fact that your God of the Bible came to this planet checking upon his creation. Numbers 11:16-17. Why couldn't the God of your Bible just make his voice heard, the way Christians claim his voice came out of a burning bush in Exodus 3:2-4? Why would God have to come down to talk to man? Why couldn't he just put a though into his head? Questions ask the Christians: is the God of the Bible omnipresent, meaning everywhere at the same time? Answer: they will say yes. However, according to John 14:2, the God of the Bible has a house with mansions in it, John 14:2. The Greek word used for house is oikia, meaning residence, but usually an adobe, home, household. The Greek word used for mansions is: of the Bible has a house, or a residence, then he can't be everywhere at the same time. Questions ask the Christians: if the God of Bible is in heaven according to Matthew 5:45, Matthew 6:9, Mark 11:25, and Luke 11:2, and heaven is inside some place, then the God of the Bible is within something that is inside something, making the God of the Bible quite small and definitely not omnipresent, or as the Mohammedans would say, Allahu Akbar, meaning greater than all or bigger than all. How do you explain this? Answer: they don't know. According to Revelation 14:17, heaven has a temple in it. Revelation 4:1, heaven has a temple in it. Revelation 4:1 says that it also has a door, and Genesis 7:11 says that there are windows as well. If heaven has doors, then it has a ceiling and floors. And according to Psalm 11:4, the God of the Bible is in his holy temple, where it says, and I quote in part, "The Lord is in his holy temple." God dwells in temples, then doesn't that mean that the temple is bigger than him? Questions ask the Christians: do you need a trade when you go to heaven? They won't understand the question. With all the windows, Genesis 7:11 and 2, Kings 7:2-19, and tables, Luke 22:30, and doors, Psalm 78:23, rivers flowing with milk and honey, Quran 47:15, long white robes, Revelation 3:5, Revelation 3:18, 4-4, 6:11, 7-9, 7:13-14, tree with fruit, Revelation 22:2, and pure river of water, Revelation 22:1. There has to be somebody there to make sure that it is maintained. Because you say that heaven has doors and doors have hinges, and doors are made with wood or metal. If they are made of wood, then that means trees are there, thus you need lumberjacks. If they are made of metal, that means that there are stones there, making you in need of miners. So what you basically need are a lot of laborers such as carpenters for floors, seamstresses for the white robes and cotton pickers to pick cotton in order for the robes to be made. If all of this is going on in heaven, then you'd better off staying here on earth.